Hi guys, Mike with Fights with Friends. Everybody please hit that like button. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Buckle up. Have you guys ever had one of those situations where you have somebody come to you and it's somebody that you respect, like a figure of authority, like a teacher or a drill sergeant or a coach or, God forbid, your father, and they come to you with that speech. They're so upset with you. You've disappointed them so much, and they basically feel like you're such a crappy person right now that they can't even be mad. They just give you that look, and they're like, "I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed." And they walk away, and it's like they ghost you. I think everybody's probably had that unfortunate situation in their life. Well, maybe that's how Alexander Gustaffson was feeling this weekend when Daniel Cormier spit fire on Instagram. This got pretty heated. I'm just going to read the entire Instagram post that he sent to the world that's since been shared by MMA Junkie, front page of USA Today. Dear Alex, I don't know what happened to you going back to the Rockhold situation. You have always been a stand-up guy, but your behavior changed. From calling a guy out the day after he got knocked out, of course that was, he's talking about Luke Rockhold getting knocked out by Yoel Romero, to now offering to fight me knowing I have a broken hand after Volkan couldn't go. He was supposed to fight Volkan. Volkan has a broken nose. Now you've turned down Jan, turned down Khalil Roundtree, all while calling for a heavyweight title fight. Now, moments after Anthony Smith does his work like an animal, you decide you're hurt. And this is where it gets deep. Man, I respect you as a fighter. I will always be grateful for October 2015, but you and I won't share the octagon again. I am disappointed in who you've become. You were so entitled, man. I can't deal with delusional people. Good luck recovering. Our time has passed. See you from the commentary table. DC at Alex the Mauler. Hashtag we go our separate ways. That kind of says it all. And that's, if you're really that upset with someone and you're going to come out publicly and basically humiliate them and let them know how upset you are with them. Daniel Cormier picked the best way to do it. I mean, it's that passive aggressive, I'm going to kind of try to stay classy while I let everybody know what a piece of garbage I think you are right now. Now, did Daniel Cormier, how much did he think about that before he put that on Instagram? I mean, he put it up right after the fight with Anthony Smith. I think he's been stewing. I'm sure he's been stewing since Alexander Gustaffson called him out when he knew he had a broken hand. That's going to piss a fighter off. When you challenge them to a fight and they want to fight and they know they're not ready to go. Now, is Daniel Cormier overreacting? I mean, I don't know. If he took a little time to think about this, would he have done this publicly? This isn't really like him. We haven't seen him go at anyone like this outside of John Jones, who, of course, went after him first, pressed his forehead against him, talked, a bunch of smack. And that was a very heated rivalry. But that's the only time Daniel Cormier's had that kind of situation. You didn't hear the trash talk with Stipe. You haven't heard it in the past. You didn't hear it in the first Gustafson fight. Either of the Anthony Rumble Johnson fights, which were huge fights. So this kind of comes as a surprise. So you know he's very, very upset. And you can see his point and what it looks like. Alexander Gustaffson, as I said in my video later, comes out and says he has a minor injury. He's not going to disclose what it is. He'll talk about it later. Immediately after Anthony Smith destroys Mauricio Shogun Rua in like a minute and 30 seconds, less than a minute and 30 seconds. And of course, Gustaffson was wanting to fight Shogun. He called him out. And he was calling out a guy, of course, that he already beat. He beat a much younger, much better, I believe, Shogun Rua. He fought him back in 2012. That was 6 years ago. Shogun Rua is 35 now. He's been through a lot of wars. First time Gustaffson fought him, he was 29. And Gustaffson's in his prime, should be in his prime. He's 31 years old. He doesn't have a lot of miles on him. He's got the three tough battles, I guess, with Daniel Cormier and John Jones. 2 with Cormier and 1 with Jones. No, two altogether. This would have been the second fight with Cormier, but apparently now it's not going to happen. From Gustafsson's side, if I'm Gustafsson, it's a frustrating career in the UFC. I mean, it's a frustrating, several years, not just from the 2015 with Cormier, but it's like you fight, and a lot of people feel like you beat the 2 best light heavyweights ever and the only men to hold the strap for the last, 8 years or so? I mean, when was the last time there was another light heavyweight champion before John Jones? I can't even remember back. It might have been Shogun Rua. So that's been 8-10 years. It's been a very long time. And maybe there's a gap in between there somewhere, but I don't believe there was. Because John Jones' only loss was his disqualification against Matt Hamill. Of course, and then an overturn from the test with Daniel Cormier, but that's not a loss. That was a no contest. So I can kind of see both the reasons for being frustrated. I can see Alexander Gustaffson, like I said, probably just went through the last however many years of just complete frustration, and now he feels like, okay, Daniel Cormier and John Jones are out of the picture. I'm going to be able to jump in there and fight somebody, that I've already beaten, or someone that just got knocked out and I think has a weak chin. I'm going to go in there and grab me a belt, and that's just not the way it happens. And like I said, you can see Daniel Cormier's point. Should he have came out publicly like that, that's going to be the conversation for quite a while right now. This is not going to go away anytime soon, and I have a feeling he might regret doing this. It depends on how the UFC and everybody spends this. But where does DC go from here? Where does Alexander Gustafsson go from here? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Should we give Gustafsson the benefit of the doubt? Do you think Daniel Cormier overreacted? And who should these guys fight next? Should Gustaffsson jump in for a title fight as soon as he's ready and as soon as he has an opponent that fits his liking? And then Daniel Cormier, he's going to pick his opponents. If I'm Daniel Cormier, I'm fighting Brock Lesnar, getting a ton of cash, and riding off into the sunset. And you can't blame the guy. Why are you going to fight somebody that you've already beaten so it doesn't add to your legacy? It's not the biggest super fight. It's going to sell probably under 500,000 pay-per-views, no matter how much you hype that. I don't see DC versus Gustafsson selling over 500,000 pay-per-views. When he fights Brock, it would be a disappointment if it wasn't over 1 million, and it wouldn't be completely surprising for it to go over 1.5. And it would be a huge pay-per-view, especially if they put a big co-main event with it. I don't even think that would matter, though. I mean, Brock is just such a big figure. And this kind of works out right for DC. Just walk away from the light heavyweight division. And why do you want to lose that weight anyways? I mean, it looks like he doesn't look like he's trying to lose that weight right now. Like he's trying to fight at 205 anytime soon. But I want to know what you guys think. Everybody, please hit that like button if you're new here. Subscribe here to get notifications when I'm live streaming or when I post new videos. And let me know down in the comments what you think. I'll react to them. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.